Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, right. So today what we are going to discuss is about arrays, array manipulation. It's not a very lengthy topic, and I'll just discuss arrays today. Then I'll stop and you can practice. So we have till now we have discussed about string manipulation. We have discussed about the input, how to take the input and use it with multiple if conditions. So today we'll discuss about Python array methods. So let's say I can define over here is basically an array, and you know arrays are can be in comma separated values. So I can define over here is different countries with comma separated values. Okay, so I'll just define 3 countries over here. Right. So I have an array now. It's a database. Okay, it's much bigger container that can hold a lot more values. Okay, so let's say we want to do is we want to extract a particular. So what we can do is we can use over here is print, and we can say a, and we can refer to the index number that we want to print. So in this particular case, what we have over here is we are printing Nigeria, because we do know that the array indexing starts from 0. Okay, so this element, we call them the element. This element Nigeria basically is in the 0 index number. Pakistan is basically in the 1st index number, and Uganda basically tends to be in the 2nd index number. So index numbering always starts from 0, and this is the way we can actually extract any of the index out. You refer to the array, and in the square parenthesis, because if you're talking about arrays, you have to refer them with the square parentheses, and we do know square parentheses are represented for databases and databases and arrays tend to be the same thing. Okay, so I will do is I'll just again like yesterday, I'm recording the lecture as well, and I'll keep on pasting all of these over here. Okay, then we can actually talk about different things. For example, we might want to add something. We'll talk about some built-in methods. So over here, what I can do is I can say is a dot. You can see there are lots of built-in methods over here. So append, obviously I can add something to it. So let's say I want to add over here is UK, and then I can simply print it out. So let's print A. So in this particular case, what's happening is that you can see is at the end, we have appended, and we have been able to append it as our 3rd element number started from 0. Okay, so that's how we append. The reason why we obviously have to practice is because we are not that much acquainted with the language, new language. You obviously do understand it right now, but when you'll be typing it yourself, you might forget the code, you might forget the structure. The more you practice, the more you'll remember the structure. And frankly speaking, it tends to be very easy. So there is another way. There's another thing that probably we might want to remove all the elements. So for that, what we can do is we can use over here is a dot clear. Now, this you might be using it sometimes. This would do is that it will clear. You see, I have no element in my array anymore. I have cleared it. So we should know how to clear our array. Right? So all these methods, obviously, you should know them by heart, frankly speaking. Then let's say, let me talk about copy. Okay, maybe I want to create X. Okay, I can say is equals to a dot copy. Now, basically what this will do is it will copy all the array elements and assign it to X. So if I print in this particular case, X is, let's see, do I actually get the same values that I have in A? Yes, I do. Because what we did was we basically swapped all the elements, all the entire array, we copied it and we assigned it to X and we are printing X. Okay. So we should know how to copy our elements into a different variable, and this is the method we can do that. Okay. So let's talk about another method, which could be, let's say over here, for an example, I could do is, I could have over here is Pakistan again, right? So I have Pakistan appearing twice within my array. So what we can do is we can say over here is X is equals to a dot, let's say I can use count. And what we can do is let's count over here is Pakistan. So now if I print this, let's see what happens. So it's saying 2 because what it's doing is it's counting me that how many elements do I have, like how many times Pakistan is appearing in my array. So a dot count. Inside count, you enter the parameter that you want to count. Okay. So it's not very complicated. That's why I'm doing a bit fast. Okay. If there's a question, better you can type in and ask me. But it's quite basic. We just have to remember all this. अच्छा, और क्या मैं discuss कर सकता हूँ? For example, let's talk about this. Let me just get rid of this. And let me define, let's say, cities over here. And I can say over here, cities are, I can have over here is Lagos. I can have over here is Lahore. I can have over here is Abuja. Okay, fine. So what we're doing over here is let's try to somehow concatenate both of them. Well, in this particular case, we can even use is a plus. This should work. So it does. So we can concatenate directly as well. I'm sorry, just click somewhere else. Or there is another way of extend. Okay, we should know that as well. So we can also do over here is that I could use this as well. I could say over here is, let me say over here is, let's X is equals to a dot extend. Yeah, there is extend. And I could extend this with what was the name of the variable? Cities. So cities. Then later on, let's see if I could print X and let's see what happens. None. Hold on. So I typed over here cities. Then I said over here was a dot extend. I don't have to do that. A dot extend, and then all I have to do is let me just directly just print A. Yeah, this is another way. Obviously, plus is a very good method, but in the future I will discuss why do we need to use extend when we discuss this with the for loop. Over there, we will know that why extend should be used as well. Okay. Okay. Then what we have is Rija, can you hear me better? Okay. Then what we have is, so we learned how to extend as well. So let's talk about something else. For example, I might want to insert a particular element at a particular location. How can we do that? So let's say I would like to do is a dot, there's this method insert, and I would like to insert it in the first location, not in the first one. I mean the second location, what I mean is, I would like to insert over here is, let's say, is Austria. Okay, so let's see what the output is. So I get Nigeria, Austria, Pakistan. So you can see over here is the first element now has been inserted. Okay, so that's how we can insert any number. So I could insert it maybe as the very first one, which refers to 0, or I might want to add it as a fourth one. Okay, in that case, I will have it at the end. So yes, we can actually use insert. So that's how we use the insert. Okay, just remember that the first parameter basically it refers to the index number where you want that to be inserted. Pretty easy, by the way. Okay, then maybe we might want to remove something. So let's say for that we use is actually pop. So let's say I want to do is a dot pop. So I would like to pop what? Let me take out 1. Okay, no, let me take out, let's say, is 2. So let's see what happens when I pop this out. So you can see over here is that Uganda has been popped out. So a dot pop basically means that pop 2 means that the second index number. So 0, 1, 2, 3, you can refer to any of them. So that's the pop method. Right? Up till now, it's not complicated. I hopefully no one has a problem. Then let's say you want to remove by a particular name. You can obviously even do that. What I mean to say is, you want to say is there is a method remove. So if you want to remove a particular, let's say Uganda. Okay. Why am I after Uganda? So if I run this, so same way you can see it has taken it out. If we, as you can see over here, run this, you can see is that in that particular case, the very first has been removed. Now you might be asking, what if we have to remove all of them appearing? Again, when we come to for loops, I will discuss these things with you. So we can use a dot remove to remove a particular as per the element name. So that's another method of how you can remove. So you can pop it out, or you could use is a dot remove. Both methods can be used. Well, we should know both because examiner can ask us in any perspectives. That's why we should know all these methods. We might even want to, let's say, what else is left? What else is left? It's almost done. Let me think. Yeah, basic sort. So I might sort it. So I can sort this if it's not. So maybe Pakistan. So it's sorted now. Okay. So if this was, let's say, is Austria, it would be in much better sorted order. So I dot sort, we can sort this out. Remember, we also did this in Java. So, right? Okay. What else? So okay. Let me see if I can discuss this. So if I use over here is, let's say, x is equals to a dot index. I hope it works. And let me say if I want to find is Uganda. And let's say index 2. So what's happening over here is if I want to print is the index number of an element. We learned how to print the element by referring to the index number when I said 0, 1, 2. It would tell me which element is at which index number. This is the opposite of it. Okay, so if you basically want to find out the position of a value of an element within an array, this is a particular method that we could use. Let me just count how many we have discussed, because I'll get an idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So fine. Yeah, these are frankly the most important, and these array manipulation methods are there. Okay. Inshallah, next Python classes, maybe we'll be discussing is for loop and functions. Okay. Maybe first we'll do for loops or loops in general, very important. And maybe then we can come to functions. So I'll stop it here. Please practice this. I'm again insisting on the fact that you need to practice it, because if you don't practice, you are going to forget every previous lecture. It's a new language. You have to get acquainted with the syntax. It's not tough, but yes, it takes time. Okay, that's why I'm not giving you a full 1 hour lecture every time, because we need time to practice as well. That's the way it goes. That's the way initially programming goes. Any question? Do we have any question? Rija? Fatma?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay, fine. Beta, apni practice ye zoor karna hai before the next class as soon as possible. Okay. I'll share the video lecture as well. Okay. Okay, both of you.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz.